This training module addresses what every distributor faces at one time or another: how to continue personal sponsoring after you have approached all the people you know, otherwise known as your warm market. This presents a formidable challenge even to the most experienced distributor. Even so, your long-term success will be the result of your ability to graduate from your warm to your cold market. Most of our top sales leaders find that the majority of their volume comes from people they did not know beforehand. Thanks to advances in electronic social media, the potential of introducing FLP to people you haven't actually met in person has become infinitely greater. If you already use social media such as Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, you know that often you receive requests to add new friends, or you are tagged or poked from various people. Don't ignore these sources of new prospects. In addition, if you haven't already done so, now is the time to learn how to optimize your MyFLP address with search engines such as Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Doing so will give you greater exposure to the hundreds of millions of people using these methods to search out their interests. Most search engines provide free advice on optimization. Simply go to their site and look for search engine optimization. Then, there is the traditional method of person-to-person contact with people you don't know. This is still a very effective way to develop new prospects. Some distributors are a bit timid when it comes to meeting strangers, but with a little bit of practice, it becomes much more comfortable. So, how do you approach people you don't know that well and develop in them an interest in the FLP opportunity? One of the best ways is called the FORM method. FORM stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Message. It's designed to help you develop trust and familiarity so that you can better introduce the opportunity. It's actually quite a simple technique, and with a little practice, can be mastered in a very short time. First, make a comment about something you both have in common. Let's listen in as distributor John strikes up a conversation with a total stranger, Mike, while waiting for a flight at the airport. Well, it looks like we have another hour to enjoy the airport.
Yeah, I hope I catch my connecting flight.
Hi, I'm John Ramsey.
I'm Mike Hampton.
Nice to meet you, Mike. Are you heading out or going home?
I'm going home.
That's fortunate. I'm just heading out. Where's home?
I live in Memphis. Where are you headed?
Washington, D.C. to attend a seminar. Do you have family in Memphis?
Yes, my wife and 2 sons.
That's great. Are you originally from Memphis?
No, I was raised in South Dakota, and my wife's from Chicago.
Really? How did you two meet?
Well, we both went to the same college in Chicago.
I see. My wife and I met at a church social in Orlando, and we ended up here in Los Angeles. So, did your work bring you to L.A.?
No, I was visiting relatives in Long Beach.
What kind of work do you do, Mike?
I'm an insurance agent with New York Life. How about you?
I develop marketing networks for health and beauty products. How long have you been with New York Life?
Well, about 10 years or so.
I think there's good money in insurance. Is it paying you what you're worth?
It's been good to me. Of course, I'd like more. Who wouldn't? But it's a comfortable income.
Good for you. What do you do in your spare time, Mike?
I enjoy golf. How about you?
I love golf too, but my real passion is deep sea fishing. In fact, that's one of the reasons I live in California, so I can be close to the fishing ports.
Sounds good. Do you go out often?
Oh, I get out a couple of times a year. How often do you get out on the golf course?
Not as often as I'd like. Lately, I haven't had much time.
That must mean business is good, eh?
Yeah, but it sure gobbles up the time.
You know, Mike, if you'd like more free time, you might be interested in doing what I do. Let me give you my card, and perhaps we can talk more about it sometime. Do you have a card?
Sure, here's my card. What'd you say you do?
I develop marketing groups for health and beauty products. Check out my website. It's there on the card. After talking with you just for these few minutes, I think you can make a lot of money and have a lot of free time.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Notice how John steered the conversation through Mike's family, occupation, recreation, and then ended up with his message. That message revolving around making a lot of money and having a lot of free time. Did you notice how John started the conversation by commenting on something they both had in common? Even though they were total strangers, They were sharing the experience of waiting for their flight. This could just as well have been total strangers sharing good or bad weather, shopping at the same store, watching a Little League baseball game, attending the same concert, or eating at the same restaurant. Did you notice how John introduced himself immediately after Mike responded to his first comment? This is the point in a conversation where many people drop the ball. Don't be afraid to offer your hand and say, "Hi, I'm John Ramsey." Almost always, the prospect will shake your hand and give you their name. The moment you shake hands, you have begun to develop trust and familiarity. The rest of the conversation flows easily from there. Even if it's interrupted, you can always get back on track when the time is right. If you are meeting strangers online via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or whatever social media you prefer, these principles are the same. Imagine instead of a verbal conversation, John was guiding this conversation by typing in questions and answers, and Mike was responding. John could start the form technique, typing something they both have in common. "Hello, Mike. Looks like we share a mutual friend, Sarah Rogers. How did you come to know her?" And then guide the conversation from there using the same principles we described earlier. Remember that anything we do becomes easier with repetition. It's a good idea to practice the form technique by role-playing with your sponsor. Repeat it over and over again until you feel confident. Then start using it with strangers you meet, whether in person or electronically. At that point, you have literally taken the lid off your growth potential.